downloadable content, microtransactions,
DRM,
pre-order DLC,
dislike content, blind, stupid fucking fanboyism.
It's this baseline thinking of why gaming is the way that it is currently. Because the one thing that you can learn from the gaming community is we are the biggest bitches, whiners, criers, and complainers when it comes to supposedly this hobby that we're passionate about, you know? We're all for game preservation. Game preservation. Game preservation. Game preservation. Game preservation. Actions speak louder than words. And you know the irony of this is something this individual fails to realize. If you bought a Switch 2 and are not a content creator reviewing it, you are what's wrong with gaming today. You see, the problem is that if we were to take this ludicrous bullshit excuse, because that's objectively what it is, there is no logical or fallible argument that you could make for a content creator willfully making a purchase, deciding to not just simply review it, but milk that bitch till it's blue in the face. You really expect me to believe that RGT85 really gave any kind of shit about the negative aspects of the Switch 2? You really expect me to believe that Mudahar gave two fucking shits about the negative aspects of the Switch 2? RGT, even in his own video, said he was going to still get the Switch before it was even released, before it was even open for pre-orders, because his YouTube channel, baby. Mudahar, in, can't remember if it's this video or his previous video before this one, admits that the reason why he got the Switch is because, well, video idea, bitch. Tell me, how do they have the higher moral compass than the regular people that just decided to go and buy it? They didn't turn on a camera. They didn't look at it. They didn't tell you that this is how you should feel. This is the way that you should think. This is what you should do. I believe this. You should believe it. We should do this for the betterment of gaming. They didn't do none of that bullshit. They just wanted to play Mario Kart World. And I dare say that those individuals are probably doing less damage to the gaming community. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not harming gaming. They are. But they're doing a lot less damage than the one who's going to willfully lie so they can milk the shit out of it. Because then it's no longer about, this is what I believe. This is the moral ground that I have. You know, that this has the opportunity to harm gaming in the future. But my moral compass is outweighed by money. Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, Activision, Square Enix, Blizzard, Konami. Money. That's why they do what they do. Content creators. Money and or views. That's why they do what they do. You see, it's easy for us to get a camera and speak soft whispers in your ears about subjects that you agree with, that our opinions align with. And you know, I hope that whether I'm a little YouTuber, which I am right now, or if by some stupid happenstance I were to end up with 300K, 500K, 3.8 million, 3.2 million, or heaven forbid, 16 million, that you would still hold me accountable for the things that I supposedly believe in and portray to you in a video, that if I were to do the opposite of that belief, you would be like, what the fuck? But we don't. Because another problem with gamers is we hold companies and individuals to different standards. Let me give you an example of active DRM. Microsoft and Electronic Arts. Microsoft for the console. Y'all remember that, all right? I'm not going to rehash it. Unironically, Electronic Arts, roughly around the same time as the Xbox, for their reimagining, reinvigoration of SimCity. Active DRM. There's another company, but we'll get to that. Microsoft. Go fuck yourself. That's what gamers said. Electronic Arts. You can eat a fucking dick. That's what gamers said. Ed Boon is looking pretty sexy over there right now. It's pretty fine ass, that's what it is. It's pretty sweet, It's the greatest thing since sliced cheese or sliced bread. We are the Oprahs of handing out passes and excuses for companies and individuals that objectively should be held accountable for the actions that they ultimately take, especially if those actions are in relation to bullshit that they want to spit because they deem it to be negative, but then are now going to support that very negative thing that apparently they have a problem with. You see, Angry Joe is an example outside of the Switch 2. He objectively does not need to review every Madden game. He knows, I know, we all know what the next Madden 27 is going to be. But Angry Joe's a different kind of whale to Electronic Arts. And Angry Joe has his own whales that he has to feed. So his own love and passion of this supposed franchise is going to be outweighed by $sign. Here's an example for you. There's, I forget what it's called, a documentary on, I think it's Netflix, where they talk about various, I think it was a TV series, about video game companies and their startup. Unironically, they have an episode about Electronic Arts. And if you were to watch that episode, you'll be like, what the fuck happened? Because the priorities for creating Electronic Arts, for creating Madden, are completely different than their perspective today. You could clearly tell that it became less about the love of Madden and football and sports games and how much of this rabbit, or technically cow, can we milk. This, unironically, is also true for even Angry Joe. You see, this idea that the only difference between EA and Angry Joe is their way of thinking. Beyond that, they both do what they do for what? Money at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with being a moral compass or remembering the history and the longevity of where they came from and what made them the powerhouse that they are today. I'm not even a big sports fan. And I can't tell you how many times I've almost bought older games of Electronic Arts just to see if they're just fucking better than the crap they're releasing today. I probably don't buy them because I know deep down, even without playing them, that they more than likely are. They will be entertaining and fun in some facet that they're. So this very belief, this very speculation, this ideology that if you bought a Switch 2 and are not a content creator reviewing it, you are what's wrong with gaming today, is a load of shit. We have all played part in creating gaming what it is today. We hand out passes and excuses to these companies worse than Oprah hands out free gifts to her audience. And we do it for every subject. It doesn't matter if it's DRM, if it's day one DLC, pre-order bonus DLC, whatever it is. We hand out passes all the time. We are the biggest inconsistent, whiny bitches you probably will ever meet. We don't hold true to whatever values that we're going to spit in front of a camera to try and make you believe we have. Because, you know the old saying, actions speak louder than words. If you honestly believe that any YouTube channel is here in the gaming space to fight the good fight, whether they are monetized or not, whether they have sponsors or not, because replace money with views, you still get the same dopamine effect. You're sadly mistaken. And this can easily be seen by the actions that you see them take, where they will say one thing and do another. So we are all collectively as a whole to blame for the state of gaming today. And content creators that are gamers are objectively worse than the people that don't even bitch and complain about the things that they enjoy and play anyway. Because, again, the difference is complaining than buying the very thing you're complaining about. Complaining than buying the very thing you're complaining about. Complaining and rebuying the same thing you're complaining about. Rather than showing the people you're talking to that I am so passionate about Madden, I love this franchise with all my heart, that I'm going to have to do the one thing that I never thought I was going to have to do. I am going to stop my angry reviews of Madden because it's not helping the situation. It's not solving the problem. I have to give Electronic Arts money in order to do this. So instead, every year when a new Madden game comes out, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to wait for reviews, see if it's different. If it is, then I'll buy it and review it. If not, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to play an old Madden game because that's how passionate I am about this franchise that I believe in. That would speak far more volumes, well, than this bullshit. I'm going to take a stand, and I'm not going to get the Nintendo Switch. Would have far more volumes than I'm going to milk this for every fucking thing it's worth. Gaming is the way it is because of people like me, because of people like you, and because of people like this. Okay? Because remember, gamers are good at one thing and one thing only. Bitching, moaning, whining, crying. But eventually, we will shut the fuck up and we will play that game. This is something that we constantly tell and prove to publishers and game developers on a daily basis, for crying out fucking loud. How many modern games have active single-player DRM in them in 2025 compared to when they started showing up? PS3 360 era. You see, developers and publishers haven't lost the plot. We did. The only difference is we're too fucking blind to see it.